we still have feelings about what happened that day. People dying was the very last thing that I thought about. That's the way it was. We had 3 boys, and all of them were different. Joey was one of our heart, and that is trying to help people out.
Just a great human being.
Whenever he told his mom that he was going to be a firefighter, she was very hesitant about it.
I didn't want him to be a fireman because of the danger, but he had a son.
Margaret's Joey's son.
Once he joined the fire department, he had a beeper, and it was on 24/7.
He was always one of the first ones to show up and help. And
he was very, very passionate about the fire department.
I came home, and my pager goes off. It beeps real loud, and then there's voices on it. All I got was static. I didn't hear anything, so I didn't immediately get up.
I belonged to an organization, and we had a meeting that night. A gentleman walked in there with a picture on his iPhone and said, "The fertilizer plant's on fire," and he showed everyone the picture of it.
And I kept smelling like rubber burning. So I jumped in my car and went to Joey's house, and I couldn't get an answer.
I said, "Well, I'm fixing to leave. I'm not going to stay for the meeting. I'm coming home because we just live a block over." So
most people didn't even know that plant had changed from bags of fertilizer to a mixing plant.
I was raised out on the farm, and we dealt with fertilizer all the time.
Among those is ammonium nitrate, which obviously we now know is combustible.
We came to this fertilizer plant to get fertilizer.
I was there at 4 o'clock in that afternoon, standing right next to the ammonium nitrate.
It was a big fire. It was obviously a huge structure of some kind burning. I come here to get my bunker gear on. And then you just grab your coat and helmet and take off.
They still thought the fertilizer plant was fertilizer bags. And it was a bomb there. Ammonium nitrate, it's a chemical that blows up.
They originally went up there to put it out, and then they realized they didn't have the equipment or the water to put it out. At that point, we get defensive. You just back up and try to look around and save what's there.
Nobody was prepared for anything like this.
We wasn't going to put it out, and I think they realized that.
I was in the process of leaving the meeting.
So I parked up by the high school, and I grabbed my gear and was running down the road, maybe 100 yards from where the trucks were.
Just about 10, 20-second loud rumble.
I got about halfway down that road when it blew up.
I'm sure that Oh, you okay?
Dad?
You okay?
Dad, I can't hear.
Come here.
I can't hear. Get out of here.
It's like slow motion, things going up in the air, you know.
Oh my Lord!
Things, balls of fire.
I mean, everything was flying in the air.
And I'm standing in the road, kind of just watching it.
I just took off in a run, ran to my truck because first thing I thought of, Joey was there.
He was on probably one of the first trucks that went out there.
As soon as I turned across the railroad tracks, I seen the debris everywhere, metal hanging off of power lines, and this city park right here was leveled. I mean, we called, trying to find out where he was, what kind of condition was he in, was he okay? Every one of them said, "He's not here. His name's not here. He's not here. He's not here. He's not here." Whenever I laid on the recliner, I said, "Well, if he's not at the hospital, then he's still got to be out there."
Pretty obvious that there was people that lost their lives.
We got a lot of firemen down here. We need every ambulance we can get in this place.
We knew where he was at. He was at the fire, and he's dead. He's gone.
I remember when Joe told him.
I told him the best that I could about what happened, and that his dad was gone, dead, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. Is there a good age to tell your grandson that his dad was gone?
I think I went to 8 funerals in 5 days or something like that. They all did the taps and the flags and all that, and it just comes back.
I don't think there's a day that goes by that I don't see something that reminds me of what happened.
Of course, whenever you have a loss of life, to focus on what you need to do is not easy.
There was a point that I didn't even want to go on anymore.
2 weeks later, picked up Parker that weekend, and he was 4 years old. He was sitting in the car seat in the back seat. He looked this way. He looked toward the park, and he said,
Gigi, I have a project I need to do. And I said, oh, really? He said, I want to rebuild the park. And I said, so what do you want to do? You want to sell some t-shirts? And he said, no, I want to sell hot dogs.
you know, I said, if we don't do his wish, it's not going to happen.
We looked at each other and we talked and we said, well, we have to try. And people started coming. And I mean, they were like blocks away in line to get a hot dog.
You realize, how many hot dogs do you have to sell to fill that park? Don't matter. That's what we're doing. Said people would drive, they know it was going on, they'd drive over there, they wouldn't get a hot dog, they'd go over there and throw a $100 bill in there or something like that.
We made $83,000 that day selling hot dogs. It was just crazy.
Part of the park is it's called Parker's Park.
Little guy, big dream. It was certainly a community project. Not only a rebuilding, but healing. The helmet 3107 was Joey's helmet number.
It makes me proud when I see that hat.
A lot of kids use the park. Families come out here and do different things.
I know that's something that Joey had tried to do, and through his son now it's done. If Joey was here, he would be smiling and be happy that he helped the community and they have someplace to come and play.
We'll never forget them. It's a constant reminder of their bravery. And